Hi guys, my name is Emily, and today I'm going to talk about the Farseer Trilogy by Rob and Hobb. This I read for the HobbALong. I will leave a link to that in the description box down below. Currently, we are reading through the Madship Trilogy. I'm woefully behind on that because thesising has taken over my life. So today I am going to talk about the trilogy that I have read and my thoughts on it. There's very little that can be said about this without spoiling it. Prince Verity and King Shrewd allow Prince Chivalry's bastard, Fitz Chivalry, to live at the palace and to be trained as an assassin. Hence, the assassin in all the titles. So you have this young boy being trained to kill people. These are fairly political books. They focus on the politics of claiming a throne, putting the right person on the throne, maintaining that person on the throne, corruption, and all of that jazz. There are two things that I liked about the series as a whole. I really liked the introduction of the wit, which is a more animal, natural magic that's sort of looked down on in society. It's where people sort of have this mind bond with animals. I thought that was really neat. As somebody who really enjoyed Tamora Pierce's Immortals Quartet, in which Dane has this wild magic where she can speak to animals and heal animals, I really got a kick out of the wit, and I'm hoping that when we see Fitz more in other books in Hobb's world, that we get more on the wit and learn more about it, because that is what really interests me. The other thing that I really liked is the conclusion of the series. I think the series does eventually have a satisfying payoff. I mean, I struggled through the series because Fitz has a tough life. Nothing really works out for him, and it's just constant, like, downer, downer, downer. Anything that Fitz does, you know after a while it's just not gonna work out. And I had a discussion with Joe from Final Blow Joe about the pessimism in the series, the just lack of hope, and how that was really hard to read through. And I can definitely see that. That definitely was part of the reason it took me so long to complete the middle book in this trilogy. It just got really hard to deal with, that nothing was working out. I mean, fantasy is supposed to be an escape, it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be... I mean, at least there's supposed to be some payoff, and it really looks like there will be no payoff at times. So if you're interested, you should check out Joe at Final Blow Joe. Links to his channel in the description box down below. He reviews a lot of science fiction and fantasy. I have never encountered somebody who just reads so much science fiction and fantasy, and he gives really thorough reviews. I really trust his opinions on books. I'm not big on science fiction, but any of the science fiction that I have picked up because he talked about it, I have really enjoyed. So I highly recommend that you check out his channel. Link to that in the description box down below. What I didn't like about this series as a whole was that it had a lot of manliness. I identify as a woman. I like to see women represented well in fantasy. I'm willing to accept that not all women can be the super special snowflake Katnisses of the world, but it seemed like every single woman in here was a stereotype. She was very one-dimensional. She was just throwing herself at Fitz, and he was like, oh no, I have a girlfriend, I don't want to have sex with you, beautiful woman, and the woman would be upset that this guy didn't sleep with her. Like, these women were all so petty and vindictive and just using sex and their bodies, and none of the women really had motivations behind it. They weren't developed enough for us to really understand where that's coming from. And then the one female character that we do spend a lot of time with, Catrican, the Queen in Waiting, she feels her purpose in life is to be a sacrifice. And so she starts out this really, really interesting character. She's like working with her hands, she's working with the people, she runs into battle, and she's just so strong and powerful. And then we get to the end, and she sort of falls apart as a character, and I didn't enjoy that. Like, she had so much potential, and she just seemed to fizzle out. And Fitz Chivalry, with his like noble manliness, was really hard to stomach after a while. If he wasn't just failing at life, he was just being like over the top manly. So to end on a positive note, what I did really enjoy though was The Fool. I love The Fool, and I am so looking forward to the Tawny Man trilogy, which from what I hear about is more about The Fool. I can't wait to get to that. Overall, this wasn't a great first taste of Rob and Hobb. For me, just the pessimism and the over-the-top manliness and the lack of female characters that I enjoyed really hindered my ability to connect with the series and to enjoy her writing. While I am continuing on with Robin Hobb's works because I'm participating in the HobbALong and because I bought some of her books already, I don't know if this is the best place to start. I mean, I think once I get to the end of her writing that's out to date, at the end of the HobbALong, like when I'm able to reflect on more of her works and reflect on this series when I'm farther in and I see these characters again later, like the Fitz and the Fool trilogy, I know that they're coming back. I know that these characters are going to come back. So I'm hoping that later on I can reflect back on this series and maybe I'll have changed my opinion. So if you're participating in the HobbALong, let me know your thoughts on the Farseer Trilogy. I guess if you're not participating in the HobbALong, you can let me know your thoughts too. If you've read farther along in Robin Hobb's works without spoiling anything, how does this series fit in with your understanding of Robin Hobb's works? Like, is this your favorite? Is this your least favorite trilogy? Like, I know I've read all of Tamora Pierce's works, and there are definitely series that I prefer over others. So I'm wondering if that's also the case with this, if this is maybe the best starting place, but not the best of her works. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!